It was nice to see those small toys, Niclas, Rydell, please come on. But please give us some background and also some more details, since you've been working with this for quite a long time, and you promised me that you will do this quite pedagogically now with 4 important points.
Yes.
So
yes.
please go ahead.
All right.
And questions afterwards, so please.
Thank you. So I guess most of you have an idea about TCS Certified in general. So I will focus on the news, the new concepts of the new generation of the certification, and I will make this pretty quickly, and hopefully you can use some of these ideas in the work groups after this presentation. There will be some possibilities to discuss different topics in different working groups. And then you can think back at the new concepts of TCS Certified and think about if this is something that brings up ideas to talk about in these work groups. So we have focused on the environment and the social responsible manufacturing. And for each of these areas, we have made 2 big important changes. For the environment, we have looked at unknown substances that are used in products, in IT products, and we have tried to create more knowledge around these substances. We have also looked at some key aspects for sustainability, and we have talked with purchasers and found out that some purchasers are measuring key figures of sustainability, and we want to simplify that task. For social responsible manufacturing, we have focused on the brand owner engagement and to increase the leadership in the corrective action plan management. And we have also introduced an first step to conflict minerals criteria. And for each time we revise the generation of TCS Certified, it is a challenge to find a reasonable level. So if we take the level too high, it's impossible for brand owners to certify products. If we take the level too low, it's not interesting for buyers to ask for it anymore. So it's a challenge to find a reasonable step. But every 3 years when we revise the criteria, we try to take 1 step up the ladder and drive the industry forward in that way. So the criteria that I believe is one of the most important ones is the one for chemicals. This is a US senator that quoted this in a committee, and he said that 84,000 chemicals are available on the market today. Many of them are in products that people are using and come in contact with every day, like IT products, for example. And the problem is that only 1% of these substances are known. So a very vast amount of these 84,000 substances, the environmental and health effects of them are unknown. And they're still used in products and IT products today. And this is something that we wanted to do something about in this generation of TCS Certified. I like to pick mushrooms. My grandfather, he went out with me in the forest and we picked mushrooms when I was a kid. And I learned which types I could eat. And logically, I pick the ones I can eat and I avoid the ones I can't eat. And then there is a lot of mushrooms in the Swedish forest that I don't know if I can eat them. And my grandfather taught me that the ones you don't know, you should treat them like if they are dangerous. And basically, that's not how the society has treated substances until now. Unknown substances has been allowed to be used in IT products to a very large extent and other products. And what we are doing now is that we say for non-halogenated flame retardants, which is one additive to plastics, we want all of them to be tested and assessed so that we know the dangers that they can have. And for the ones that are most dangerous, they are not allowed to be used in TC certified products. So we are using the challenge that we've seen is that for the TC certified products, there are a lot of these substances. We have paints, we have different additives to plastics, and one of them is flame retardants. And we have focused on this one to start with. And what we have done is that we have adopted a system called Green Screen, which is an organization in the US. And there will be a speaker describing this system after me. And we have said that only flame retardants that have been assessed and given a benchmark 2 or higher is allowed to be used in TC certified products. And one very important thing we've done is that we said that all of these substances that have been assessed should be publicly listed on our website, so that everyone who purchased TC certified products can go into our website and look at the list and see which substances that are present in TC certified products. It's like a declaration you find on food. You can't see exactly what's in your product, but you find all the substances that are used in TC certified products on this list. And currently, as I said, we are limiting this to flame retardants, non-halogenated flame retardants. It's our ambition in the future to add other types of substances as well, but we have to start somewhere. But making this list public is not only to make it transparent for the TC certified system, it's also a way, it's a contribution to society, because a lot of this information has been hidden and protected by the chemical manufacturers. And by doing this, we are making some of this information available to the society. The next thing we have done is that we talk to buyers, and we see that some purchasers are measuring the sustainability impact that their purchase has. And from year to year, they try to minimize this impact. And to be able to minimize the impact, you have to measure it in some way. And one thing you can do is you can measure some key figures. So we have decided that on the TCO certified certificate, we should print out 3 key figures. How much post-consumer recycled plastic content is used in the product? What is the total weight of the product? And how much is the energy consumption? For example, if you are purchasing a certain amount of products in 1 year and you know the weight of those products, you can see that next year, if you reduce the weight, you have reduced the e-waste of your purchasing. The same way, if you can increase the amount of post-consumer recycled plastic from year to year, you are contributing to a circular economy where plastic is recycled and sold to manufacturers to be used in new products. For social responsible manufacturing, we have seen now, we introduced quite a tough criteria last generation, 3 years ago, where we required all brand owners to audit their factories, to send one of the audit reports to us, to be transparent with their conditions in the factories. And during these 3 years, we have been looking at these audit reports. We have got quite a good idea of the situation in the industry. And what we have seen as the most important thing for the new generation of TC certified is to increase the leadership in the driving of this social responsible manufacturing. We see that there are good code of conducts, but there need to be a leadership in the implementation of these code of conducts in the factories. And there also need to be a leadership in the corrective action plans. There are violations sometimes, and those violations need to be corrected. And to correct those in a timely manner, you need to have someone driving this work. So what we have done is that we have increased try to increase the engagement from the brand owners by clearly defining that they should have a code of conduct that is fulfilling our criteria, they should communicate this code of conduct through all of their suppliers. They should audit and make sure that the code of conduct is implemented in the factories. If there are violations in the factories, they should conduct corrective action plans. We have also introduced a criteria on proactive work, where we interview the brand owners one time every year to find out how proactive they are to avoid any violations in their factories. This gives the brand owners ideas, what they can improve, and it also gives them a list of questions where they have to reply to us if they are doing these things or not. And then they can have a benchmark how proactive they are, and they can increase this from year to year. Finally, we have introduced one criteria on conflict minerals. And this is a start of conflict minerals. It's a very big topic, and we, as we always do with our criteria, we do incrementally increase the level of them. And the challenges for conflict minerals is that most of these minerals are produced in Congo, in Democratic Republic of Congo. And if you just want to avoid conflict minerals, you can just avoid purchasing minerals from Congo. It's very simple. The problem is that all the legitimate mines in Congo will suffer really much if you do that. So we don't want to have a boycott of Congo. We just want to avoid the brand owners and the manufacturers purchasing minerals from the illegal criminal mines. So what we have, what we saw when we investigated this was that a very large amount of European companies don't have a conflict mineral policy. It's like 80% of the brands who are lacking this policy. And we thought the first step of working with conflict minerals is to have a policy, an official policy where you tell all your stakeholders what is your position on this. So this is one requirement. All brand owners who use TC certified for their products must have a conflict mineral policy covering those products that they TC certify. Second, we want to see some practical work also. And one thing is available is to do a due diligence process. This is what we most like the brand owners to do. It's a very extensive process where you are mapping your whole supply chain to find out where does your minerals come from. Most brand owners and manufacturers don't have a map of their supply chain, so they don't know where their minerals come from. And to do a due diligence process is quite a lot of work to trace down all of your suppliers and materials. So this is one alternative, and in the long perspective, we aim to have this as our only requirement. But in the first step, we are offering an alternative to this process as it's very time-consuming. And that is to be part of one initiative in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So a brand owner, instead of doing this due diligence process, it's possible to participate in one initiative where there are several initiatives in Congo where different organizations try to solve this problem in different ways. For example, the EICC is using one initiative where they are marking and labeling minerals from the mines that have been okay. And by having this labeling system, it's possible to easily purchase mines and minerals that are better. So this is an alternative to the due diligence process. We are now launching the certification for all our product groups, and the environmental criteria and the social criteria in the manufacturing are the same. almost the same for all the product groups. The thing that differ is the ergonomic criteria between these product groups. But environmental aspects and the social responsible manufacturing is the same for all of them. All of them are launched today. There has been a 3 months period where the brands could be trying to get their products to pass the new criteria. And the brands that have managed to pass during this first 3 months period, they will be announced today. So these are the first products that pass our new certification. And it's been challenging for many brands to achieve this in such a short time because there is a lot of new documents and verifications that has to be processed during this time. But we will be able to present a few products today that have passed this new certification already. And from now on, all the certificates that we issue will be according to the new generation. So we will not issue any more certificates according to the old generation. From today, it's only new generation certificates that will be issued. And we encourage all our purchaser stakeholders to use this in their purchasing documents. If you want to refer to TCO certified, always refer to the latest version of TCO certified. And then you will be sure that you always get the most recent criteria that we have launched. As we launch every 3 years, there is always some products in the shops and in the shelves that will be only fulfilling the old generation. So it's good to always request the last generation of TCO certified. I wonder if there are some questions to this, or
why not?
I don't know how much time I
I
have
think we
now.
have like 2 minutes for questions. So 1 or 2 questions for Niclas before we continue with the green screen. It was very clear. I love this mushroom metaphor because it also makes me understand how much is really unknown there and how complex it must be, and you find something new and you really don't know and so on.
Yeah.
So has that been the most complicated issue for you, or where have you sort of got stuck here in this work?
I think the biggest challenge with this generation has been to convince the chemical industry to assess substances, because the chemical industry have this idea that they can put chemicals on the market without testing them or without making the tests officially available. And to approach them and tell them that we want you to assess your substances and we want to put this information on an official site. That has been
quite sensitive stuff.
Yeah, it's been very challenging, and we were not 100% sure that we would manage to do
what
that.
if the industry sort of does more than what is certified?
Of course, that's wonderful.
And how do you show that? Do you have a gold star?
I mean, we know that as Mark will talk about green screen later on. There are a lot of other industry stakeholders which are already using green screen for other types of products.
Because we want it to be a sort of gold and not a hinder.
Yes, of course.
We have a question. Please, you have a microphone over there. It's the guy in the white pullover there. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Eric. I'm from Indrego. We reuse computers. Niclas, I'm curious. Do you know how many different kind of chemicals are typically in a computer or a smartphone? Do you have any idea of that?
Wow.
Yeah, we before we did this, before we introduced this new criteria, we wanted to have an idea of how challenging the first step would be, because there are many substances in a IT product, and we focused, as I said, on non-halogenated flame retardants. And we did a research where we looked at many TCO certified products, and we found out that it's about 20 to 30 non-halogenated substances, non-halogenated flame retardants that are used in TCO certified products. So it's not enormous amount. Then, of course, we have a lot of other substances, paints, plasticizers.
What are you talking about? Tens or hundreds or thousands? Or?
For the others, I'm not sure, but I think it's less than 100.
Less than 100.
Yeah, definitely. It's something.
Perhaps
like
we could also ask Mark that question.
Yeah, that's a good.
We have another one. Yes, please.
Okay, Hans Menschlag from HP. I just wanted to make a clarification that the EU REACH regulation doesn't really help us very much here, because they make a very, very clear distinction when it comes to requirements on chemicals between substances and mixtures of substances and substances and articles. So what we're pushing here is the chemical industry to test substances where there are no legal requirements. And that's a little bit where the resistance is. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So
Yes.
the REACH, can you comment on this legislation? And
Yeah,
so
it's
on?
excellent. I mean, the society, the government has not really taken this step yet, as Hans say. We are doing something beyond legislation, and exactly. So.
But your customers will love it.
We hope that. We hope that
They already
that
do,
the
yes.
concept of knowing what's in there is better than using something where you don't have so much idea what's inside. So the declaration of the product, that's what we would like to see in the future.
Thank you very much, Niclas. Niclas will be here all day, and there are plenty of opportunities to give questions to Niclas. So I would like to thank you very much for now, and we'll continue with. There will be more chances. So please save your question. Yes, save it just a few minutes. Thank you very much to Niclas, and it's time